Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Help with Natalie Cuomo. I'm here with lovely comedian Onika McLean. How are you?
Hey guys, what's up, Natalie? How are you?
I am great. How are you doing?
Same junk, different day, having fun.
Yes. I am so happy you're here.
I'm happy I'm
returning
here.
to the pod. A nice glow up for the pod.
I was like, I want to do it. It looks so pretty on the internet.
Oh my God.
Are your fans loving it?
Yes. Last time you were here, we were somewhere else, but we had a little viral clip.
Mm-hmm.
You and me talking about your white therapist.
Yes, Dr. Glassman, shout out. Sorry.
Are we still with her?
No, I got a black therapist now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we can get into it. I got a black therapist.
You like her better?
No, not better, but like I told you I just started lying to Dr. Glassman.
Yeah.
Because I wanted her to be like, oh my God, you're so brave. You're here. And she kept doing it. So I just kept on saying stuff to make her think that I was brave. And then I needed somebody to call me on my crap.
Does this person like see through your bullshit?
Yeah, like the mellow, dramatic. Like I've not had a therapist to say to me, well, why don't we focus on the positive? First of all, what? We're in therapy. We would need to talk about the trauma.
Yes.
She was like, no, I think you should make a gratitude journal. She sounded like one of my homegirls, really.
Who said that? Wait, which therapist said gratitude journal?
My black therapist.
She wants a gratitude journal?
Yeah, she's like, I don't focus on the good enough.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
Maybe, yeah. But people have told me that. But you're the therapist. You're supposed to blame it on my mom.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say you're
She wants you to take responsibility.
Yeah, who is that? Why is she doing
that? But that's how we grow.
I mean, come on. But I mean, there's some comfort in being a baby.
Definitely.
It's some comfort in it. So
well, you are a badass. You are doing so much in comedy. What is something that you're very excited about right now that you're working on?
I'm starting a tour. I see you're touring. I'm starting a tour, so I'm booking dates on the road. So I will be in a comedy club or theater, hopefully, near you. So that's going to be good.
Oh, my
so I'm excited about
that's
that.
Exciting.
And then I'm still trying to get my comedy special released. So if you're trying to buy a comedy special from a little chubby black lady that used to have a hood life and changed it, and she talks all about that.
Tell me about the hood life you used to have.
Oh, right. So, I grew up in the projects in East New York, Brooklyn.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, in the 90s. So it was bad. It was like a bunch of drug dealing, all that kind of stuff. It was a crazy experience. I've seen people get pring pring like
wait. What was that? What was pring pring?
But you can't say the but like
what was
shot.
That?
Like ping 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 ping. What the, I'm trying to be algorithm correct, you know what I'm saying? But what the hell are you laughing at?
I didn't know what that was at all.
Because on TikTok they're like unalive. I'm like, why are they changing the whole
know.
vocab? You can't say anything.
Yeah. Okay, pring pring.
Ping ping.
You see people get shot.
Ping ping. Yeah, it's been a lot. Not that I'm an eyewitness because I'm no snitch, but yeah, it's been some things. Yeah.
Wow.
And then I changed my life. I went to college as an adult. I went to college with my kids, and I bought my house as an adult. I just changed my life, kind of through education and I just got sick of my own stuff. I just got sick of my own shit. I didn't want that life. And how you wake up, I have this joke about your frontal lobe developing. Once my frontal lobe developed, I looked at my life like, hell no. Like, wait a minute. This is a girl with special needs. So I needed to figure it out. So then I started figuring it out. Yeah, my earlier childhood and stuff, it was a lot of people didn't make it. I know a lot of people that were in jail, a lot of people, like that whole hood story. I have that whole hood story. And people talk about it all the time. And people lie about it a lot. So now you don't even want to talk about it.
What do you mean?
Like people use it as cred. I had this story. I was, sleeping in a van and all that stuff. I wasn't sleeping in a van, but I did grow up in the projects, and we really did not have an amazing life. But we weren't poor because my mother did work 2 jobs, so we lived in the projects. And she had,
So you always had a strong female role model.
Oh, I didn't say my mother was a strong female.
Ping, ping.
Ping, ping. No. Yeah. Well, my mother and I are kind of the same age because she had me at 16.
Wow.
So, yeah. So it's like we grew up together. So while I was getting strong, she was getting strong. Actually, because we were both kids.
Oh my God. Are you close with her?
Yeah. I mean, we're close enough.
I can't believe she's 16 years older than you.
16. That's it. And she'll say stuff like, you're going to take care of me. Girl, we the same age. No, I'm not taking care of you. When you go to a home, I'm going to be going to one too. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Have you guys ever like fought over the same guy?
No. That's
I know
hilarious.
that sounds crazy, but like that's that's the same age range.
Yeah, if she like younger guys. No, No, because she like older men.
Yeah.
And I liked drug dealers. So it wasn't the same guy. But
really?
But
so you were into drug dealers?
I was married to one.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, allegedly. Not the marriage part, but the drug dealing part.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did that work out?
It didn't. I'm divorced.
You what?
I'm divorced.
Yeah, I know that.
But no, it was a very tumultuous relationship.
Yeah, I could imagine.
It was not because of the occupation, more so of the person. It was just, I'm a very aggressive personality. He is a very aggressive personality, and it just did not mesh.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Do you feel like there's a certain group of people you're trying to speak to through your comedy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Women that don't use their voices.
Yeah.
Women that have been in experiences and want to play the tough guy and don't say the thing. Women that feel a desperate need to band together with other women. Like, I'm really a girl's girl.
Mm-hmm.
I mess with women hard, just not romantically yet. Just joking. But like, so I'm speaking to that woman. I'm speaking to, and I guess maybe in all comedy well, not all, but I'm speaking to the younger me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the girl that's insecure, the girl that is trying to figure it out, that wants the best thing but can't really trust herself to give herself that. So she just kind of like wanders around and she kind of farts her way through life. And I'm like, my comedy is here to tell her that your dreams still matter. They will come true if you start putting yourself first. And just because you started this way does not mean you end up that way and move along your life. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it in your, like, do you feel like it's your jokes and the things you say in your jokes? Is it just setting an example? Like, what is it about your stand-up that you feel like you're portraying this message?
Well, I talk about my children. I talk about being divorced. I talk about my frontal lobe not developing, mismanaging my vagina. I feel like, so I do it in my jokes.
Mismanaging your vagina?
Yeah, in the 90s.
What does that mean?
So like, it is an asset that you don't know you have, especially when you're younger.
Yes.
And so you have to make really good decisions for it because your whole life will be that.
Right.
And so that's the mismanaging. So I do it like it is an evaluation where when it's really young, it's really valuable. And then as your frontal lobes start coming in and you start asking questions like, where you been? The value goes down. So I mismanaged it when it was at its highest value, if that makes sense.
So you're like teaching women like how to manage their vagina.
Yeah, well, teaching women how to manage their life.
Their life.
Actually, right? Because you can come out of it or you can get eaten up by it.
Right.
Because I feel like society tells women all the time we're not enough. Where it tells us what we are, instead of us just defining it for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know, like even with the soft life thing, I have a joke about that. Like, you know, on TikTok, they're like, "Are you on the soft life?" You know this? What I'm talking about?
No, it's the soft life.
This is my algorithm. You are shady. But so the soft life is a bunch of women that don't want to work, and they get with men that can take care of their lives, so they can have a soft life and just go to the gym and hang out and blah blah blah.
Okay.
Right. So it's called soft life. But what I'm saying is, it's not really about that. You can have the life you want, not the life that society dictates. Like you need to be feminine, and women don't do this and women don't do that, or you're an aggressive woman and you're the boss. But why can't we just be a litany of all the things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I feel like it's interesting. I feel like society has kind of pitted women against each other a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I hear a lot of people saying like I'm a girl's girl and stuff like that, but then I don't see as many people like actively bringing women together, because women were kind of like trained to feel like we have to like be the best.
Right.
You know? And what do you think it is that like what is your message through all of that?
Right, but
that like unites everyone together.
Well, we're better together.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about when you open up those conversations about women's issues and what we have going on, and not just feminism, but just being a human, you notice that we have way more things alike, way more things that make us feel insecure, that make us feel insignificant, that we're all dealing with, but society try to separate us, and then you're dealing with them separately, and then we pretend like we're not dealing with it at all. Yeah. So now you think you're doing it by yourself. I was talking to a couple of my friends that were married, and I was like, married women do single women a disservice by not telling the truth about marriage. Like they'll say, oh, it's work. But they're like, my husband bought me a car. No, sis. Y'all bought a car. It's y'all money. You know what I'm saying? Right? Yeah. You just leased it. Like, just stop. But when they say it, it's kind of like a one-up. And you shouldn't really do that.
Yes. I do feel like there's a competitive nature that needs to be broken down. Like, I feel like there could be more unity between women. Like, I think female friendships are always something that I've strived for and also always really struggled to have. And I don't know if it's
because how you look?
Maybe I like was bullied by girls in high school.
So no trust.
Yeah, and also I always felt really insecure, like because of that I felt insecure about my personality. I always felt like my sexuality was like what I had to offer. So I felt like, why would anyone want to be my friends? And then when I got older, I was like, I'm awesome. Of course you want to be my friend, but I still felt like left over of that insecurity, not trusting anyone's pure intentions.
And then it keeps coming back up for you a little bit, right? Because it's like any wound, sometimes, you know, if it rains, it hurts a little.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, you're like, I got triggered. Damn.
Exactly. Like any little thing, and it just feels like so much bigger, even though that it's not related at all.
But when you have conversations with women, like deep conversations that's not just deeper, don't you feel seen? Mm-hmm. You know, like... And you gotta we have to think about it as women. Why do they want us separate? Right? Because then the male gaze is more powerful, and we're doing all the things that we can to appease men instead of appeasing ourselves. We wear makeup, we wear hair, we do all that stuff. It's supposed to be for us, but we know that if you're, you know, this size, then this kind of person talks to you, it's different.
Yes.
It's different. But really, it's all about energy. Because if you feel confident, people feel it.
Yeah.
If you feel loving, people feel it. If you feel insecure, you kind of like hide, and people feel it.
Yeah.
They feel it first.
Yeah. What are some ways, like you're a confident woman, what are some ways that you've grown your confidence throughout your life?
Telling people that I'm not confident.
Yeah?
Yeah, you got to tell the truth, because I'm not always confident. Sometimes I don't feel funny. Sometimes I don't feel pretty. Sometimes I don't feel my best. Sometimes I say really, really mean things to myself. But I've noticed that when I tell the truth about those things, I'm more confident because I'm not hiding it. You know, like nobody can. If you tell your story, then you don't have to worry what somebody else came up with, because somebody says, well, Onika, blah, blah, blah. And then you could just say, but I text Onika, and that's not. Tell me more. Here we go.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Right.
I like that. What do you think is the best advice you ever received?
The best advice I ever received from this lady at a beauty salon, and I didn't get it then. Oh my God, I did not get it then. And she said, everybody can't touch you. And I was like, what the hell is she talking about? And many years later, I realized everybody shouldn't have access to you. Not everyone can touch you because you don't know what those intents are. You don't know how their access will affect your life. And you need to vet people. And I never used to do that. I would just, I'm like, come on, baby, give me a hug, especially in comedy because they need a hug, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm realizing is when you allow people to touch you, sometimes you're forever changed. And you don't even want to go that way.
Right.
Now you have traumas that you're dealing with that was kind of self-imposed because if you had not a wall,
a boundary,
but a boundary, a vetting system, something that says once this person gets here, I'm sure enough that they love themselves enough that they'll behave in this kind of manner. Right? Yeah. Damn.
So what's the vetting system that you kind of have in place for that?
Well, right now, I am not leading with my hand open. I'm often just listening so that I can hear how people feel about themselves. Because people will tell you in the first 10 minutes what it is. You just listen and be like, well, I'm just really looking to make friends so that I can go to the next level. And you be like, oh, okay.
Yes. You have to, it's like when people tell you who they are, you have to believe them.
You have to believe them because they tell you without telling you.
Yes.
And then for me, what I was doing is always trying to believe better for people. Like, they don't mean it like that. They just haven't been hugged enough. And they have a bad relationship with their mom. And I get that and blah, blah. But people are really responsible for their own growth.
Right. Yeah, it's disappointing. I think it's hard in entertainment to make genuine connections, but the ones that you do make are very valuable. Like, I had such a good time hanging out with my best friend the other day that Dan's like, what did you take? He's like, what are you on? I'm like, nothing. We just had a fun time. He's like, okay.
Because you were accepted.
Yeah.
You didn't have to watch your back. You didn't have to second guess.
Yeah.
Y'all are all in.
Yes. Yeah. You just say whatever you want. Like, there's a feeling, but it's just so hard to find that feeling and find that trust in friendship. And I think when you're in entertainment, it's so hard to find that trust in companionship because, of course, everybody wants this other thing. So
yeah, but they should want it. You could want it. Don't want it off of my back.
Yeah.
And just try to do the work. And what I keep saying for myself in comedy is whatever making it looks like, I don't want to be there by myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to have not. It's like accountants. They love to talk to other accountants because they feel their pain.
Right.
So get into a level and you can't tell the truth, now you're here alone. I don't want to be there alone. I would want to be able to call and be like, you know what happened? You know that guy so-and-so? Yeah, I dealt with him before. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I know that conversation stays right there because that's my friend.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, it is important to have that.
It's important.
So what are some things that you learned that you didn't expect from having daughters?
Well, I guess I don't know. I only have daughters, so, but like their romantic life, that I would be such like a Butinsky. Like
What's
I don't
that?
like a butt in, like a butt in, like Butinsky, right? Like, so not that I talk to them about their romantic lives, but I am very well vested in who they pick, who they have in their lives. It pisses me off. I'm always looking. I thought that at a certain point when they got older that I would check out as long as they're safe. But now I'm still worried about their heart. It's like taking something outside of your body and now it's there. And now not just you're just responsible for it as a kid, but even if it grows up and you're like, okay, that's a good guy. Okay, that's not a good. Okay, so I don't want you to do that. It's just like, it's none of my business. But you got those friends, those girlfriends, and they're all in your business. And you're like, well, okay, if I forgave them, like, give it a break.
Right.
Like, it's that part. There's never a time that it's only going to be me.
Yeah. You're always thinking about them.
In some aspect.
Right.
Money, but mostly relationships now. I'm just looking at the people that they chose, like, you better not do anything crazy, you know?
What would your advice be to someone that has a daughter and they don't like who their daughter chose to be with?
It's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So just like swallow your pride and try to really get to know that person, because the more you repel it,
The more they
the
want
stronger
it.
it's gonna be, right? So if you get in good, maybe you can catch it when it falls.
Right. I do feel like acceptance is the only thing you can do. Like, trying to warn them is not going to change anything.
And warn them for what? They
Yeah.
gotta. Well, there's someone said to me, you have to live life. Nobody can tell you about it. That makes sense.
You just have to experience it. You have to
You
go
gotta
through it
live
and
it.
come out the other end.
And right. And but you are going to be scathed. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, people's like, I'm over it. I think that like a rubber band, you stretch it, it never goes back.
Right.
It's a variation of what it was.
Yeah.
That's why I say you need like some boundaries set up, because sometimes people come in and change it, and you're forever ever changed.
So you talk about like growing up in East New York and the projects, then you just are like, how easy was it for you to
was not-
leave? Because
it
it
was-
doesn't, you make it sound like, yeah, I just left. Like, what did you have to do to leave and change your life?
Do I just, so that's, wow.
You're like, why do I make it sound like that?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to ponder, why do I make it sound like that? But I guess I make it sound like that because it was such a not just traumatic experience, but it was a lot of bad stuff that you want to forget, right?
Right.
And so how did I change my life? Well, I was going to leave my husband, but it was a very toxic situation, and I was like afraid to leave. And so I went to college. I started making this plan to change who I was so that I could go. And I went to this program because when I had my first daughter, I was young, and I went to this program called America Works. And that program helped people that were on welfare get off and get into jobs. It was like a government program where it was like the first kind of work fair where you work welfare and then you work. And so I was on that for like 3 months, and then I did America Works, and then I started working in a law office. And then I was working in that law office for a long time, and I was still living in the projects. And but they didn't really know that I lived in the projects. And then when I went to college, they didn't know either. And so I was ashamed of my surroundings, because I wanted something different for my life. And so I started applying for government housing projects where not the projects, but low income homes. And so I started applying for low income homes, and I got called. It was like through a lottery, those big buildings that they have in the city.
Yeah.
And there's some people that live there, they're lower income than the millionaires that live there.
Yeah.
Right. So I bought a house through that program, and I saved all my income tax returns to do it. And I went through this program called NACA. That's so crazy. I went through this program called NACA, and I got my house. I was leaving my husband. I didn't make a lot of money in a law firm, so I needed to leave my job and get another job. And so my friend was going to Florida, and she had this amazing job that made like double my salary. And she recommended me, and I got that job.
Wow.
And then I left my husband maybe 2 years prior, but it was still just really troublesome. And I bought the house in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Shout out to NACA. And me and my daughters, we like slept on the floor. And like we got beds maybe like months in or whatever, but I just was so glad to be out of my experience that I just stayed there. My kids were going to gifted and talented schools in Manhattan, so I would have to take them from East New York all the way to 93rd Street and Lexington Avenue in
What
Manhattan.
school?
Lower Lab.
Nice.
So Lower Lab, and then my other daughter went to Ness plus M. Do you know Ness?
Yeah.
And so, but they we lived in the projects, but they didn't really have the project experience because I would shelter them. They were in dance and band and all the things. So, but for me, I wanted myself physically out of that experience. And I guess that's why I gloss over it, because it was probably the hardest thing that I've done.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was the hardest thing. It was the hardest thing that I had done during that time, because I had left I broke up with my husband, my ex-husband, but I didn't really want to. It was just, he was putting us in danger. He had like picked the kids up and went and picked up drugs. It was a lot of nonsense. Oh, and so I just wanted my life to be different. And
Wow.
it's vastly different now. It's so much so that sometimes I don't believe it's my life. So I don't operate fully in it. Does that make sense?
What do you mean?
Like, I still, in my heart, am a hood girl from the project, so I'm still like, but actually I'm just a middle-aged taxpaying citizen that does comedy. I'm mad about my taxes. I want my, so yeah. So it's vastly different that sometimes I don't recognize me.
That makes sense.
And that's so good that you said I gloss over it, because I do. I make it seem like somebody just wrote me a check, right?
Well, no, you don't make it seem like someone wrote you a check or anything, but you just kind of be like, and then I did this. Like, just sort of like you just had to make a step.
No, it was really hard. And I used the law of attraction.
Which talk more about that.
So I stumbled on this book called The Secret. I want to say Oprah had it on or something. And I read The Secret, and it was about a law of attraction, willing things that you want into your life. So I remember I wanted to make $75,000. So I put that on my refrigerator, and I would look at it every day. And then I started getting more deeper into it. And I was like, okay, so I want a house, but you got to picture yourself in the house, getting up in the morning, going upstairs, drinking orange juice. Like, you have to sit in those experiences. And I was doing that. And then my life started doing that. And then I got scared and I stopped. I was like, this is too much. It's going too fast. But yeah, law of attraction really works.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I honestly need to do that more. I really like that advice.
Right? Just take your time to say, well, if you want to be on these bigger stages, what does it look like in the back, in the green room? Or do you have flowers? Like, I always envision myself in Madison Square Garden, and somebody has these big roses, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm about to do my special, and it's so grand, and my kids are there sitting on the side, and yeah.
I like that a lot. When did comedy come into the picture?
So my youngest daughter was in high school, and I used to do like motivational speaking and stuff like that. I always wanted to speak. I always wanted to be an actress for forever. I would interview myself in the mirror when I was younger, and but acting was auditions, and auditions happen in the daytime. This is just my mind, right? That's what I'm thinking. Auditions happen in the daytime. So I have to work. I'm not going to be able to go to auditions. So I would just take acting classes, theater classes. Shout out to New Federal Theater. I would just keep taking theater classes or whatever, but never really do the thing. And then one day I was like, I'm going to try comedy. And so I took the Sellers class, did my first showcase, and I was like, no, this is the thing. Like, I would love to do acting as well. Yes, I love to play, but you get to act out on stage.
Yeah.
And once I did comedy, and I was like, wow, I could be good at this. And then I just kept hitting stages, and I won't stop.
Yeah. That's
but
awesome.
it was like not really a fluke and not a dare, but I thought I was settling for comedy, and I wasn't. I just didn't give myself an opportunity to fail at a bunch of things to figure out that this was the thing.
I understand that. I think acting is the most mainstream thing. So
Yeah.
that screams out to a lot of people first. And then you're like, oh, this is another method for performing and connecting to people and sharing who I am in my story. Because what all of that is like connection. Like you want to reach other women. You want to reach people in general and just have this like shared experience and shared story. And I think that like comedy is a way that we don't even, it's like untapped, that you don't even know exists.
Yeah, and it's deeper. It's like acting and therapy and community. It's so many things. And I think that that's why comics are so troubled.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a calling, and that's what we're so troubled, because the universe, God, wants us to dig deeper.
Right.
And so, right, because most people, if a deeper feeling comes, it'll succumb them, or they'll just avoid it. And instead of avoiding it, we have to like, oh my God.
Now let's talk about it on stage.
Get it on stage. Like, get it. Because if you're going through it, a bunch of people are going through it too. And now you get to dive deep into it, and then find the levity of it and say it. And it's funny.
What's the most awkward time that you've thought of an idea for a joke and was like, fuck, I need to write this down, but we're in the middle of doing this?
All the time.
Like sex, an argument, like what's a time?
Okay, so I've had sex.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that's so crazy. I've had sex and I've come up with a joke and I'm like, oh my God,
Like,
this is hilarious. I don't do it. Like, I don't be like, give me my phone. I'll be like, damn, this is so crazy. But I'll just keep on
Repeating
keep saying it in my
sex.
mind. I'm like, oh my God. And it's always dark and disgusting. And why is my mind like that? But it's true. And when I'm working out, that always happens.
Oh, when you're working out.
It's any physical activity, actually. If you think about when you're walking, you come up with ideas. So if you're running, you come up with ideas.
Yeah, that's so interesting. It's funny, though, because if you can't write it down, you feel like you have to keep repeating it in your head. So you're just like... you're just like sucking dick, thinking about like the darkest thing until like they come and you can write it down.
Yeah, so you're like, oh, okay, that worked. Okay, good. And then when it works, and then when you take it to the stage,
and it works, so gratifying. You're like, the blowjob was worth it.
You're like, it worked.
No, but yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah, and I think that if you have a good connection with a person, and you're having sex with them, there is creativity in that.
I agree. Yeah.
There's some sexual experiences where they're just taking it, or you're just taking, and the energy is not there. But if it's amazing, like, everybody's creating. Yes,
I agree.
Right?
I agree. Yeah, it is fun. I know. I think it is a compliment if someone is inspired by sex by you. It's not like they're distracted. They're like, oh, I'm inspired.
Yes. Different, right?
Yeah.
And like, you're funny people, right? It would be great if your sexual partner is your funny person. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. They're just fucking jokes into you.
No, I don't mean that. But that's hilarious too. But no, I'm talking about like, there are people in my life that I always want to make them laugh. Like, I love their laugh, and they make my jokes better because it makes me go like harder.
Yeah, you want to keep going and make them laugh.
Because I want them to laugh.
Yes.
Like, you don't have people like that in your life?
Yeah, people that you just always trying to make them laugh and entertain, just hang out with. I feel like that about my mom. Like, I always want to just like make her laugh.
So that's your funny person, because then once you start laughing and you hit the tag and you hit the tag, you'd be like, oh, I need to spend more time with this person.
Right.
Every time I leave my friend Marilyn, that's how I feel. I feel like I need to spend more time with her, because she starts laughing, and then I'm like, and then it never comes up like that for other people.
Yeah, there's some people, like my friend Megan, I'll talk to her on the phone. I'm like, some of my jokes are just from talking to her.
Yes, that's why you always have to talk to Megan.
Yeah.
Shout out to Megan.
Yeah. It's definitely very cool. So what are some of the, like, have your daughters seen you perform?
Oh, yeah. They've seen me millions of times. They used to be pissed off.
Why?
Because I talk crap about them. They didn't like it. But I remember one time they were having an argument about it, because my older daughter was like, hey, you know that gangster rapper joke? She hates that joke. She hates that joke. That's my strongest joke, right?
You're like, I'm not taking that out.
I'm never taking that out. You know, you're like, you talking about my dad. I went through the experience. I'm going to talk about it, right? You have to. And they were arguing, and my younger daughter was like, she calls me lucky because I'm lucky to be here, and I just take it. Like, they were just arguing back and forth, and I was like, they'll figure it out. They will figure it out. Like, you have, right?
Yes, yeah.
Could you imagine if I just didn't do it, and then when I pass away, you're not a badass if you just succumb to the stuff that people request of you.
Exactly.
Some of it you got to just be like, I know this hurts.
But
this is how I feel for real.
Yeah. I always think about that when I see, like, you know, like certain comedians have these specials and their kids are like 4 or 2 and they're talking shit about them. And I'm like, what do the kids say when they get older and watch what their parents say about them? Like, do they care? Do they get
what
upset?
they say? They say, thanks for the Lamborghini, Dad.
Yeah.
That's what they say. That's right. Come on.
That's valid.
It's a job.
It's valid. It is a job. And people that don't realize that, it's like, yeah, we're making money. Like,
and people want to hear what you're going through. Like, just as a writer, I feel like I have to be true to my experience. I think that's what comedy is. And unless it's true to what you observe or true to the absurdity or true to the character that you have.
Right.
But my style is true to my experience.
I like that, just saying they'll figure it out. Because sometimes I do feel guilty talking about, like, maybe my dad or something. But I'm just like, they'll figure it out.
Is it not true?
No, it's true.
Okay, so what we talking about, Dad? You're not the only dad that is like that. And so that character is just a part of my life. If my stand-up is a sitcom, then I'm just bringing you into it.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that if you don't talk about the people, sometimes they don't really have an impact.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a compliment.
It is a compliment.
If you're not in my act, then...
What are we talking about?
Exactly. All right, we're going to pull some tarot cards really quick.
Oh, yeah.
Whoop. All right. Will you shuffle the deck?
Don't make me cry. Okay. I have these little hands.
And Onika, where can people find you?
It's Onika, Onika comedy, on all social media platforms.
Oh my God, you have them going in all different directions now.
Oh, did I mess it up?
No, it's good. It's good. It's all good.
I am sick. Okay. Oh,
no, it's
I'm
all
sorry.
good. No, it's good. It's good.
Damn.
I like it like this.
No, you don't.
It's a new, unique way. No one's ever done it before, and you're one of a kind.
Onika comedy. Or you can, my show dates, Onika McLean, ONIKAMCLEAN.com.
All right.
And join my mailing list.
All right, I'm going to have to do this with my eyes closed, man.
Oh, I told you, see how little these hands are? I'm sorry.
All right, I think this is the one. Okay, the Father of Pentacles. All right.
Oh, Father of Pentacles.
All right, there's definitely money involved here, some material gain. I got a reference book. This is a person, so it could be you.
The Father of Pentacles.
Let's see.
Can I look at it? Can I touch it?
Of course. All right, let's see. Oh, you're steady, you're entrepreneurial.
But wait, what's up with this, the rainbow? Is he gay?
No, he's not gay.
Oh, okay.
He could.
I could be.
Maybe.
You never know. Okay.
The Father, it doesn't lean, it's not a reference to the preferences.
Okay.
The Father of Pentacles is a steady, gentle man. Upon first meeting, he can almost seem dull because of his extremely calm temperament, but underneath is an incredibly passionate man who prioritizes the stability of his job, family, and home. He is an entrepreneurial and diligent at work, a true pleasure to know. I think this is your future partner.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think this is me?
You think this is you?
But I think that
I don't think you seem dull at first.
Oh, true.
I don't think anyone meets you and thinks you seem dull at first.
Okay.
Right?
Continue to read.
Because of upon first reading, he can almost seem dull because of his extremely calm temperament. Mm-hmm. You are calm. So, underneath is an incredibly passionate man who prioritizes the stability of his job, family, and home. That is you, though. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Entrepreneurial and diligent at work, a true pleasure to know. That's also you.
Okay. Thank you, though. This is a good guy.
I don't know. I'll pull one more. All right. We got the 6 of Cups. Okay. All right. Really quick here. Mm-hmm. Memories, childhood joy. A card of beautiful implications. The Six of Cups focuses on the magic and innocence of childhood. The roots of years past are alight with color and vibrancy. Look back upon them, get lost in your memories. Old friends may resurface and seek you out. All reunions will be joyful, though. Enjoy simple pleasures and wonder in all areas of your life.
Yay, simple pleasures.
That's nice.
No money. But he has money.
He has money. So, okay, maybe it's you, but like the dull part's not applicable. You're at a stable job, money and stuff.
No, I'd rather it be him.
Oh, so he's coming into your life.
Yeah, because I don't want a stable job. I just want to do comedy.
Now I'm thinking maybe someone from your past has kind of like, maybe there's someone from your past that you're not expecting. And now he has like a nice job. He's got like a really stable home life. And he's going to come into your life. But you've met him before.
Okay, that sounds good.
That's what that's what the cards are saying.
All right.
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
All right. I don't know. Are you single?
Uh-huh.
You heard it here first. All right, Onika, thank you so much for being
Thank
here.
you, Natalie.
And we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.